I think it's for me, Judge. I think they're picking on me. Welcome back to the Five. Obamacare has created controversy from the get-go, you know that, and now a report this week says the cost of the program has been underestimated by $50 billion. I have to point out right now that one of the authors of this paper says he's getting a lot of heat for simply reporting what he considers to be the facts. He would get heat from me if he was here because it's not the fact, but, you know, that's the way it goes because now this is all speculation about how much Obamacare would cost if you factored in spouses, children, on and on and on. This is all part of an attack coming from the right that still doesn't like the idea that there would be affordable health care in America.
It's not just the right one.
65%
of the American people want a full repeal of Obamacare, so it's not just the right.
Let me just say, you know why you get 65%, by the way? Let's be honest with each other. It's because so many people on the left thinks that President Obama should have been more aggressive in laying that, and there should be a public option.
Talk to the hand. This is something that the United States cannot afford. This is a multi-trillion-dollar new entitlement when we're facing an epic debt crisis. A brand new entitlement. We can't afford the entitlements we have.
Is that what you're hearing from seniors about Medicare and Medicaid? Gee, I don't hear that.
Well, let's see. Medicare and Medicaid are going broke within about 2 years, Juan. So we can't afford the entitlements we have.
What seniors do you hear from who are saying to you, oh, Miss Crowley, you know what? We really have to give back this Medicare money. It's just too much, and it's bankrupting our government.
What you're glossing over is that under the Paul Ryan reform is that current seniors are grandfathered in. We're not talking about current seniors. Stop trying to scare them.
Even current seniors say they don't buy it, they don't like it, they don't think it should be denied to generations to come.
They're not being affected by it, Juan.
Yeah, they're not being affected, and they still don't like it.
Is it not a fact that the statisticians that the Congress used when it created this 2,700-page report that we now know none of them read before they voted on, omitted certain things like spouses and children when they calculated the cost?
They were told to focus on single payers and not on families. So what you had then was this loophole.
Because many of us live in families and have spouses and children.
Right, but they were looking at, that's the way it had been done all along. That's the metric that we have applied to all of these systems. It wasn't done in some way to say, let's deceive people. The CBO's not idiots. They are impartial judges. That was their finding. Now this guy comes up because he and everybody else on the right still is upset about the fact that this president did something monumental, something that other presidents were unable to do. Even Richard Nixon wanted to do a health care plan for America.
This is an epic disaster, Juan, and it's dragging down his job approval. Look, 65% of the American people want a full repeal of this, and the reason is, number one, they don't want the government in their eyeball and their ear canal. Number two, they know that we cannot afford this. Juan, this is just the tip of the iceberg. And this, by the way, this is $50 billion a year. Not $50 billion, $50 billion a year that they haven't accounted for.
Let me offer you a counter version of reality. Americans are sick and tired of insurance companies that rip them off, that leave them sick, that leave them without any coverage.
How about that's true,
but they don't want the government.
What's the alternative, Judge? Right now, nobody has, so many Americans don't have any coverage.
The alternative is to deregulate insurance so it can go across state lines and you can pick and tailor the policy that works for you, that gives you what you want and that you can afford. This is a debate we had 2 years ago.
And then that's why so many people don't have any coverage.
But wait a minute, we have an example of that working. It's the airline industry. When the airline industry was deregulated by Carter, it worked. Why can't we do it with health care?
Prices went down.
But I want to make, can I just make one point?
Sure.
I don't know if this health care reform bill is bad or good because I don't know anything about it. To me, it's like a lemon that your parents bought at a used car lot that got out of the lot, and as it's driving home, everything is falling off. Americans are watching this thing crumble. You're hearing something new about this bill every week.
And here's something you didn't know. Well, this is a good point because guess what? Kansas is giving back money, saying they don't want the money for the health care coverage. And not only that, don't you forget Joe Wilson.
Yeah.
Remember Joe Wilson's performance when the president had a session, joint session, president speaking? Let's look at what Joe Wilson had to say.
The reforms I'm proposing would not apply to those who are here illegally. It's not true.
Well, the president said it wasn't true, but turns out now that some people who are here illegally are getting coverage. How are they getting coverage? Because community health care centers that get money under the health care plan, Mr. Gutfeld, are not asking people if they're here legally or illegally.
President Obama owes Joe Wilson an apology now.
No.
But wait a minute, Juan. These are federal funds being distributed at the local level, and the condition of their distribution is that federal law be complied with. And the Obama administration is not complying with federal law because it doesn't care if this money goes to illegal immigrants or not.
That's not true. What
That's
we're saying,
exactly what's
that's
happening
not true.
in California.
What's true is that the community centers and doctors are trying to help and heal, and they're not taking time to say, are you here legally, illegally? They're not playing that Arizona game.
I don't blame the doctors for not saying that. And you know I attacked the Arizona law. But if you talk about the president's accuracy...
Well, what do you want to do? Send FBI agents in to frisk old ladies and little kids and say, oh, you know what, you're here illegally, little kid.
The issue is that apparently the president himself hadn't read that statute when he made that statement.
I don't believe it.
Or he did and just glossed over the truth.
You know what? Leave the president alone for a second. The audience will stay with us. Coming up, a staunch warning: the next possible financial crisis could be right around the corner, and your student loan is said to be the problem. The Big Five continue next.